Something just happened in the US economy that almost no one expected. In February 2026, the United States lost 92,000 jobs. Not slowed down, not flat, lost jobs. And the unemployment rate just jumped to 4.4%. But here's the real story. Most headlines are missing. These job losses weren't isolated. They spread across healthcare, construction, manufacturing, hospitality, and government. And if you're in real estate, this report could change buyer demand, mortgage rates, and home prices over the next several months. So today we're breaking down the February jobs report sector by sector and what it really means for the housing market. Every month, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics releases the most closely watched economic report in America, the Jobs Report. Investors watch it, the Federal Reserve watches it, and increasingly, real estate markets react to it. February's report shocked economists. Instead of gaining jobs, the economy lost 92,000 positions nationwide. That pushed unemployment up to 4.4%, signaling a labor market that may finally be cooling after years of tight hiring. But the most important detail is where the losses happened, because each sector tells a different story about the direction of the economy. And some of those stories could directly affect housing demand. The biggest surprise came from a sector that normally adds jobs every month: healthcare. The industry lost 28,000 jobs in February. A major reason was a large labor strike involving workers at Kaiser Permanente, temporarily removing thousands of employees from payroll counts. Healthcare is usually considered one of the most stable employment sectors in America. So when healthcare jobs drop, economists take notice, because it may indicate temporary disruptions or broader stress inside the labor market. The leisure and hospitality sector also saw significant declines. Employers cut 27,000 jobs, and nearly 30,000 of those losses came from restaurants and bars. This sector is extremely sensitive to consumer spending. When people start pulling back on dining out or travel, restaurants are usually one of the first industries to feel the pressure. And historically, changes in hospitality employment can signal early shifts in consumer confidence. Manufacturing also continued a worrying trend. The sector lost 12,000 jobs in February. That means manufacturing has lost jobs in 14 of the last 15 months. Manufacturing is often seen as a leading indicator for the broader economy. When factories slow down, it can signal reduced demand for goods worldwide. Construction also saw a drop. The industry lost 11,000 jobs during February. But economists say this decline may have been partly caused by severe winter weather, which temporarily slowed projects across parts of the country. Still, construction employment matters greatly to the housing market, since it directly impacts home supply. Fewer construction workers can mean slower housing development. Federal government employment also declined. The sector lost 10,000 jobs in February, and since October 2024, federal employment has dropped by roughly 330,000 positions. Government employment changes can influence regional economies, especially in areas with large public sector workforces. Transportation and warehousing also shed jobs. The sector lost 11,300 positions, largely driven by reductions in courier and messenger services, which alone cut 16,600 jobs. That could reflect slowing e-commerce shipping demand. Not every sector declined. Financial activities added 10,000 jobs, showing resilience in banking and financial services, and social assistance services added 9,000 jobs, driven largely by individual and family services. Now comes the question investors care about most. How will the Federal Reserve respond? The Fed is facing a difficult balancing act. On one side, the labor market is showing signs of weakness. On the other, inflation risks remain elevated due to rising oil prices and geopolitical tensions. Markets currently expect the Federal Reserve to hold interest rates steady between 3.5 and 3.75% during the March meeting, but some analysts believe weaker job growth could eventually lead to rate cuts later in the year. Right now, many investors are placing bets on a potential June rate cut. So what does this mean for the housing market? A cooling labor market can have two major impacts. First, slower job growth can reduce buyer confidence and demand for homes. But second, Weaker economic data increases the chances that the Federal Reserve eventually cuts interest rates, and lower rates could make mortgages more affordable again. For real estate professionals and buyers alike, the key thing to watch is simple: the next few jobs reports, because they could determine where mortgage rates and housing demand go next. If you want more breakdowns of how economic reports affect real estate and mortgage rates, subscribe for weekly updates. Because in today's market, understanding the economy could be the difference between buying at the right time or the wrong one.
Your ultimate hub for real estate insights, breaking news, entrepreneurial wisdom, investing strategies, and self-development hacks. If you're ready to expand your mind and stay ahead of the game floor, you're in the right place. Subscribe now. Your future self will thank you.